Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a 2024 Chevy Silverado LT with the Duramax. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Lurch Miller Chevy here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8 known as the Duramax that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, power outputs with this new Duramax are 470 horsepower and then 975 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the venting here in the center. Notice it actually says Chevrolet, which is pretty cool. And then we have our Allison Duramax badge here on the side. Now coming down below, you guys can see these are the standard lights here for the LT. And they've got some chrome trim here on the front end. Notice with the Chevy bow tie, and then chrome with the bumpers as well as the tow hooks here at the bottom. And putting it all together, this LT package really doesn't look all that different from the previous version. I mean, there's some subtle changes, but it's not a huge difference. Now coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275/70/18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the wheels, you've got this silver on them and then the Chevy bow tie in the center. Notice here with the fender flares, and then this one's a 3500, so 3500 HD badge here on the side. Got the trailer mirrors, you can see with the body painted door handles, and then do have keyless entry. We also have the bedside step here on the side, and then huge leaf springs. I mean, those are pretty crazy. And then here's your full side view with the truck. This is where you can see that it is a full four-door crew cab, and it's got the 8-foot bed. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, the drop down for the tailgate, and then the Chevy bow tie here on the back. Now popping into the bed here, you guys can see this particular one doesn't have bed liner, but it's something you can add from the factory if you want. And other than that, it's an 8-foot bed, so it's really big. And this, by the way, pretty easy to lift up. It's super light. Now here are the taillights. You can see LT badge here, and then we got the cool little bumper step as well. And then notice here with Chevrolet stamped into the tailgate. Wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the LT package when it comes to the styling and everything. Now popping inside, we actually have wood trim here at the top, and then we got the double stack design here with the armrest situation, which looks really nice. Now we've got these cloth seats here with the LT. As you can see, we do have the under seat storage as well as the flat loading floor here, and then you guys can see with the vents. And by the way, since this is the full crew cab, tons of legroom here, and then we also have really good headroom as well. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see with the wood trim, then look at the silver trim as well, and then again double stack design here is what I like to call it. We've got all of our window controls. Front one is automatic. We've got our mirror adjustments, and then just a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then with the front seat, again, all cloth here, as you can see, manually adjustable. And then we've got our light controls right here. We've got our drive mode select with our tow haul mode, and then you guys can see our drive line select with our 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, and then our 4-wheel low. And then the steering wheel itself is manually adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got really nice padding here with this LT package. Got radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, some controls for the center stack. We also have our cruise control with this. And then what you guys will notice is we've got regular stock there behind, and then we've got the column shifter as well. Got the plus and minus, so you can manually shift the gears yourself if you want. And then taking a look at the gauge cluster itself, you can see fully digital gauge cluster here. And again, we got the tow haul mode, so notice it'll show the Silverado towing a trailer. Then you got the off-road mode, shows it off-road. Pretty cool little setup there. Now taking a look at the camera system here, you guys can see we've got a rear view camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then you got the trailer tow line as well. Resolution's pretty solid overall. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, we've got a shortcut bar here on the side. You've got the main screen right here. Notice we do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then you have this little side thing here as well. It all responds pretty well, and actually, there you go, that looks better. Now I've got the double up with the home screen buttons, pretty cool. Volume control here. And then you guys can see you've got your diesel exhaust brake, lane departure. That's for the tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control, and then look at the wood trim that goes across right there. Trailer brake controls right here, and then we've got our single zone climate setup. Got some USBs right there as well, and then here's our little bench seat center console situation. Actually move those out of the way so you guys can see with the seat. And And there's more storage underneath, which is pretty nifty. Speaking of storage, here's the glove boxes. Solid. Got nice stitching there, and then all along the dash as well. And then up top, this does have a manual mirror dimmer, and then nothing up top really, and then rear glass is fixed. And now let's take a look at the stickers. So we have a payload capacity of 4,206 pounds. And then if we pop down to the towing sticker here, you guys can see conventional towing, 20,000 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 12,250 pounds with this truck. And then when it comes to the window sticker, sorry, it's tons of glare, so it's kind of hard to see. Base MSRP, $55,400. The engine is almost $9,500. Total MSRP on this one is $66,985. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and, well, let's set off. Well, setting off in this LT with the Duramax, and this one's a long bed. Pretty cool setup for a pickup truck. Now, one thing I love about the Duramax is just how smooth the powertrain is. The 10-speed definitely helps out with that quite substantially. But it's more than just the 10-speed. It's just how this powertrain builds power and everything. It's really solid. And, well, I can actually get up and move again. So far, our fuel economy is not the greatest because we've just been sitting here waiting with traffic. But yeah, this thing's got so much power. It's really solid. And the ride quality with the Silverado HD, again, this is a 3500 long bed. Surprisingly good for what this truck is. You think that it would just be like crazy bouncy all over the place, and then it does bounce a little bit, but you know, for the most part, for an HD truck, it's pretty dang daily drivable. It's way more daily drivable than the trucks back in the day that had, I mean, this has independent front suspension and everything. Like back in the day, right, trucks had solid front and rear axles and leaf springs front and rear. I mean, that's when ride quality was real tight. Okay, so we're about to go over the train tracks here, so I guess we'll see the ride quality with this. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Man, this thing's got some torque, let me tell you. It's seriously impressive just how much power this truck has. And you know, that'll lead me into summing things up here with this Duramax LT with the long bed. So I guess emphasis on the Duramax side of things. I'm trying to get as much seat time as I can with the new Duramax to really just kind of get a feel for the powertrain, because you know, we've got the new Power Stroke out. Ram hasn't really done anything with their powertrain in a little bit, so but it'll still be interesting, you know, to see the comparisons between them. But the point I'm trying to make here is I'm a big fan. I feel like what I see online a lot is people saying, oh, it doesn't even have 1,000 pound-feet of torque, and it's like, buddy, anything over 800 pound-feet is like overkill. Like, this already has so much torque. And again, the biggest thing is like the towing capacity. This has a really solid towing capacity, both gooseneck and bumper pull. So overall, I'm a big fan. I will say this LT package is kind of interesting. I've noticed that truck makers have been kind of slightly stripping down their middle line. Like the LT, right, it's middle of the line, but I mean, this, when I think of middle of the line, this doesn't exactly like feel like middle of the line, because and this isn't just a Chevy thing. Ford's doing the same thing, Ram's doing the same thing. Like I feel like this should come standard with dual zone climate, heated seats, and power sliding rear window. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. I feel like it's not too big of an ask. But aside from that, I love the new Duramax. Let me know what you guys think about this truck. Let me know if you agree with the whole standard equipment thing. That's just my personal opinion.